Jeff Lee, our next inductee, coached 34 years with Staples Soccer, 11 as an assistant, and solidified the program's reputation for quality soccer and the development of outstanding players. Known for their ball control, teamwork, and toughness under Lee, the Wreckers won 357 games, lost only 77, and tied 42. His teams earned 5 CIAC Class LL titles and 12 FCIAC championships. Lee's teams played in 20 championship games and lost only 3 of those matches. Many of his players have continued their careers in soccer and are in the Connecticut Soccer Hall of Fame. In fact, one of the slideshows that we were showing before the inductees came in that shows what our former inductees are now doing is a testament to Jeff. And I just want to take a minute and show one of the slides we had up earlier. And I separated these 3 out because I'm sure there are probably more, but 3 of Jeff's players. Mark Noonan was a recent commissioner of the Canadian Premier Soccer League until last year. Mike Noonan is Clemson University's men's soccer coach with several recent NCAA championships. And Kyle Martino is a TNT soccer commentator. You can see him doing coverage on TV and several other things. He does quite a bit. But just a testament to Jeff and Jeff's legacy. Jeff was also inducted into the FCIAC Hall of Fame in 2006. He earned the Connecticut High School Soccer Coaches Association Boys High School Coach of the Year Award in 1986 and the Connecticut Boys Soccer Coaches Association Special Coaching Award in 2003. And he was identified as one of Hartford Courant's Connecticut Best of the Century soccer coaches. So Jeff Lee, welcome to the Connecticut Soccer Hall of Fame.
Good evening, friends. If you're wondering what brought me here, so am I. My soccer playing career began as a walk-on at Wesleyan University in September of 1961, please. Today's term walk-on didn't exist at schools like Wesleyan in those days. Some of my classmates had probably met coaches during a pre-freshman visit, but no one was recruited in today's sense. I played that season as a second team midfielder on the Frosh team. There were no cuts made. A knee injury in September of '62 ended my soccer playing career. I came to Staples High in Westport in the fall of '66 to teach French language and literature. Within a month, I had also signed on to coach the ice hockey team, a sport I'd played a lot growing up in the Boston area. Day 1 at Staples, I met Albert Luffler, known to all as Albie. Already a Connecticut soccer legend as a coach and referee, later inducted into the first class of the Connecticut Soccer Hall of Fame in 1999, along with referee Paul Bordeaux, another name known to most folks in this room. Those here who knew Albie will recognize truth when I say he had a presence. I attended Staples soccer games that fall, saw fellow inductee Phil Kites play brilliantly for Brian McMahon, our rival. His coach was Ralph King, a good friend and rival of Albie's, and later mine during the past 50 plus years. Ralph was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2006. In '67, I volunteered to help out at Staples soccer practices, running drills, shooting on goalies, and especially for me, listening in. Every day with Albie was a coaching clinic, and I took advantage of it. My hockey team benefited from it and went to the state semifinals 4 times in 7 years, despite there being no rink in Westport. In '68, Albie hired me to coach the junior varsity soccer team, 44 sophomores, 2 of them here tonight, on less than half a soccer pitch of space. We played fewer than a dozen games, although Fred Cantor might correct me on that, I'm not sure. Each 4 by 15-minute quarters. That's the way the game was played back then. And everyone got to play. Did I mention we were undefeated? That group became the seniors in 1970, who shared the Connecticut State Championship with Hall High School in a 0-0 tie in the finals, having given up 0 goals to a Connecticut team all season. We gave up 2 to CIAC in early season, 2-1 loss, both scored by a fellow named Franz Innocent, later well-known in Connecticut soccer, here tonight. UConn star and later professional player Tim Hunter, class of 2004 inductee, was that team's high scorer. I coached the team for Albie as interim head coach as he had suffered a heart crisis in August. He returned to the sideline with me for the state tournament. I then continued as his assistant until he retired after the '77 season. I owe my knowledge and love for the beautiful game to my long association with Albie and James Poolman, a Connecticut soccer great at U of U Bridgeport, inducted in the class of 2000. Jim taught physical education in Greenwich and was the first head coach at Fairfield University. He worked for years with Westport soccer players off-season, and he ran an excellent summer camp for boys and girls for more than a decade. Good coaches need good people skills. Albie and Cools, as Jim was known, had these in excess, as does my former player and later longtime assistant coach, Dan Wogue, Soccer Hall of Fame, class of 2000. He took over as Staples head coach when I retired in 2003. I'm overwhelmed with gratitude to have been associated with many fine young men through whose combined achievements I've been chosen for this award. 8 Staples former soccer players have already been honored by and inducted into this hall for their exceptional playing careers in high school, college, and professionally. I salute brothers Tim and Paul Hunter, both UConn grads, both stars there. Mark and Michael Noonan. Mark at Duke, national champion. Michael at Middlebury. Ken and Kevin Murphy, both at UConn. Excuse me, Kevin with the University of Rhode Island. As well as Steve Bauman, Penn, and Kyle Martino, University of Virginia. They've enriched my life. I'm still in contact with most of them, as well as with many of their teammates through the past nearly 6 decades now. I want to also salute my fellow CIAC soccer coaches for setting a standard of excellence for all of us to try to meet. Men like Brian High's Ralph King, long an FCIAC leader. Bridgefield's Al Deniz. E.O. Smith's John Blomstrand. Joel Barlow's Jim Dolan. Farmington's Steve Waters. And Danbury's Gary Donaldson, whom we're honoring tonight. They all led the way. The Hall of Fame has also honored outstanding referees. Paul Bordeaux, Don Minton, and Jesus Zornoza are three who especially influenced my soccer education. We all recognize that Connecticut is a small state. Many of you here tonight have already read through the biographies of those of us here at the honorees table. After all, you are either here because of one of us, or you know one of us, or you're a previous honoree. If you have not already done so, at your leisure, go to the inductees page on the Connecticut Soccer Hall of Fame website and read or reread the accolades and accomplishments of all the previous inductees since the first class of '99. I personally am at once honored and in awe of the privilege of seeing my name in their presence. I used to emphasize to my players every year, repetitively to some, it was necessary, as you might imagine, that their responsibilities were three in soccer season. First, family. Second, soccer. Second, schoolwork. Slight. Third, the soccer team. Only if there was time, everything else. I've reversed that this evening. I have to now speak of my family without whom I never would have experienced anything like the wonderful life and career I've led. My wife, Kathy Lee, then Steele, arrived to teach English at Staples in September of '69. We married in August of '70, and I took over the varsity soccer team for Albie on or about Labor Day. To say she has lived as a coach's wife is a gross understatement. If you were paying attention to details, you'll recognize that I was JV soccer coach and varsity ice hockey coach when we started dating. Not sure how I got away with it. She has been and is always my love and my rock. Here tonight with her is our daughter Amanda, her husband Nick, and our granddaughter Renly. Kathy's sister Millie Steele and our longtime friend Bill Duffy have joined us from Philadelphia. I thank you all for your presence, and I tip my cap to my fellow inductees. I'm honored to be recognized with you all. Thank you.